Just to fill everybody in on pretty much what I've done since I left Yanco in '77. I went back to Leeton. We still had the farm then. I did my apprenticeship as a fitter and machinist at Leeton Steelworks. Did that for 4 years and then bummed around for a few years around Leeton and a few different places around Australia. Ended up going over to the States in 1985, working the wheat harvest. I did that 85 and 86. 86 spoke and Leesy and my younger brother Stephen went over. So we all had a pretty good time over there in America at that time, and Spoke and I actually ended up getting married out of the deal, but that's a long story. So I ended up, cut a long story short, living in America for about 8 years. We moved back in 1994. Mum and Dad were still in Griffith then. We stayed there for a short time and then moved up to Yeppoon in central Queensland. So I've kind of been based in Yeppoon since then, since about 94, 95. I worked around central Queensland there, and I got the opportunity to come up to Indonesia and work on a drilling rig in 1997. I did that for a very short time, and that's when the economic crisis hit up here. So that shut down pretty quick, so I went back to Australia and worked back in the coal mines in central Queensland for a while. Ended up getting divorced around 2000 and came back to Indonesia and got a job back up here again. And I've been pretty much up this way ever since, even though I still lived in Australia. I just rotate and travel backwards and forwards. I've been up here working on rigs, mainly in Indonesia, and a little bit in Vietnam and a little bit in Malaysia too. So yeah, it's been good. We've just moved to Bali. Actually, for those of you who have seen the email that I emailed Norm on, we just moved to Bali. We're going to be there for a couple of years, a couple of different reasons for doing that. Yeah, so we're going to be based there. So there's an open invitation to all old Yanconians, especially our years, but you know, not just our years, any old Yanconian that's going to be in Bali. If I'm at home, please look us up, send us an email, let us know you're coming, and we'll catch up for sure. As most of the guys that know me fairly well, you know I don't normally talk too much. It's pretty hard to get a word out of me unless I've got a gut full of beer. So tonight, consider this a special occasion because there's no beer here, unfortunately. It's not allowed. And so I'm making an extra effort to try and get some words out of my zippered mouth to have a bit of a communique with you fellas. Yeah, I'm looking forward. I've got to wait another 2 weeks before I get to have a beer. Well, actually, it's a little bit of a fib. I've got 2 cans accidentally left over in my bag when I come over on the helicopter when I came home on 2 weeks ago. So they've survived this long. It's amazing. But yeah, 2 cans don't go far. Not with me, that's for sure. Anyway, I just like to wish everyone all the best for the reunion. Have a safe one, guys, especially all the guys that are doing a bit of travelling on the roads. There's quite a few of you doing that. Yeah. And a special note to the guys for the Saturday barbecue. A bit concerned, Waso and Mick Ainsworth, you know, about having a beer on the morning. Look, just consider it as a favour to me. You know, if you've got any qualms about it, so this one's for Seth. Down it. You'll be right. No worries. I'm sure the reunion this year is going to be a one-off for certain. You know, I doubt that you'll ever get this group back together as a complete whole again. I couldn't imagine. But anyway, keep us in mind next year. If there's a chance I can get down there, even if it's just a few of us, I'd really like to catch up with everyone, as many people as I could, because there's no way But I'd never be able to do it on an individual basis, that's for sure. It's just too many people, too much travelling involved. The logistics of that would be near impossible. But anyway, if circumstances arise that a few fellas are going to get together next year, let us know, keep us in mind. Because if there's any chance of it, I'll try and get there. Oh well, before I leave too, I better give you one story. There's one, I've been thinking about a lot of different stories, as you guys know, there's a bloody million of them, but this one was when we were in 4th year, and I think we were living in dorm 4, I can't remember the name of the house now, I think it was Gardner, anyway, one near the store there. It was back when we used to acquire eggs from the poultry, and because we were always hungry little buggers back then, we'd had a system in our dorm anyway that I think supplied he had one of those big square electric frying pans. So after lights out, we'd always have a big pancake cooker. I remember this one night, we'd all eaten our fill, we were stuffed to the gills, and Spoke had all this leftover batter for the pancakes left over. I said, what am I going to do with this? I said, I might as well cook the whole lot at once. So he made this huge pancake, big square pancake, about this thick, So he cooked that up. Anyway, Mick Ainsworth was sound asleep in bed. Anyway, Spoke finishes cooking the pancake. What are we going to do with this? Oh, let's dump it on Mick. So he picks up the pancake, piping hot thing. Mick's sound asleep, plops it fair on his face. Well, Mick just sits up, bolt upright in bed, just screaming his head off, freaking right out. We were all pissed at ourselves. How we never got busted for that, because I must have heard it nearly all over the school, I reckon. But yeah, no, that one made me chuckle. I remembered that one the other day, but I'm sure you guys are going to have plenty of them. It'd be nice to have the video camera on you blokes in the next couple of days, that's for sure. It'll be very entertaining, no doubt. Okay, we'll catch you later.